Hello and welcome, good people. In this video I'll be showing you how to create a Windows 10 virtual machine on your current Windows 10 PC and with an application called Hyper-V that you probably already have. Let's get started. Before we start, to install and download software, please make sure that you are running an updated Windows 10 PC version Education, Pro or Enterprise. This won't work on Windows Home or Mobile Enterprise. Your CPU also has to support virtualization technology. To verify that you have hardware compatibility, you can use the systeminfo command in your command prompt. I will include this link in the description below. Also, please make sure that you have at least 32 GB of free space and 2 GB of RAM that you are ready to allocate for the virtual machine. The first thing you need to do is check if your Hyper-V application is enabled. To do this, click on the Start button and type in Windows Features. Hit Enter. You should now see a Windows Feature window. Click on the plus sign left of the Hyper-V and check that Hyper-V Management Tools and Hyper-V Platform are both checked. If either one of these two are grayed out, you need to enable virtualization in BIOS. To do this, please consult your motherboard manual. Now, let's assume that you have CPU virtualization enabled and continue. I suggest saving all of your work and closing all of your open programs, as Windows may automatically reboot. When ready, check both of the features and click OK. Windows will then proceed to install these features. After the install is complete, you will maybe need to reboot your PC. After the features are added, open your browser and open the link in the description of this video. If the link for some reason is broken, open a search engine of your choice and search for Windows 10 image. The best choice would be to download it from Microsoft.com. If you open the link from the description, under the Create Windows 10 Installation Media, click on Download Tool now. Once the file is downloaded, click on it to run it. If needed, click on Yes in the User Account control window. Wait for the application to load. Then click on Accept and wait again. Now click on Create Installation Media and hit Next. Review the language, edition and architecture. If there is anything you want to change, uncheck the Use the recommended options for this PC and change the desired setting. I will leave the default settings and click on Next. Now select the ISO file and click Next. Choose a folder where you want to save the ISO file. I will leave this to the default location and click on Save. Please make sure you have at least 4.5 GB of free space. After the process of creating the image is started, you will need to wait. Fast forward, the image is created and we can close the application by clicking on Finish. Now that we have everything, you can open the Hyper-V Manager. On the right side, click on New and select Virtual Machine. A new window will appear where you can click on Next. Now give your machine a name. I will call mine Demo Machine and click on Next. You can choose between Generation 1 and Generation 2. If you would like to learn more about generations, click on the link in the window. The safest option would be to select Generation 1 and click on Next. Assign the maximum RAM size for the machine. The minimum would be 2 GB, but I will be generous and assigned 8 GB, which is 1192 megabytes. Don't worry, this can be changed after the machine is created, so if you feel that you have dedicated too little or too much, you can change it afterwards. I would suggest you to leave the Use Dynamic Memory checked. This ensures that the machine is using only the amount of memory that it needs and not the maximum defined at all times. When you have this entered, click on Next. For the connection, I suggest selecting the default switch and clicking on Next. Now, as I suspected you are doing this for the first time and you do not have a virtual disk created, you will need to create a new one. A virtual disk will be present as a file on your host machine, which is your current computer. In this window, you can set the name, location and the size. I will leave mine to the default, and I suggest setting the size not less than 32 GB, as this number is a requirement for Windows 10 to install and run. Once done, click on Next. In the Installation Options window, select Install an operating system from a bootable CD/DVD-ROM and image file. Click Browse and select the image that was created in the Windows Media Creation tool that you were running. Once done, click on Next. review all of the settings and click on Finish. You can now double click on the newly created machine and click on Start. A new window should appear with the Windows installation. At this point, the options for you may vary as the Windows is updated, so please keep that in mind. Set the language, time and currency format. I will leave this to the default, and set the keyboard or input method and click on Next. Now click on Install Now. Type in the product key and hit Next. If you don't have a product key, just select the I don't have a product key. If the window with the selection of the operating system appears, select the one you want to install and click on Next. I'll choose the Windows 10 Pro and click on Next. Click on I accept the license term and Next. Select Custom, Install Windows Only. In this window you can partition your disk. I will just click on New, click Apply, OK, wait for it to finish, and now I will have only two partitions, one of which is a system partition and the second one will be visible in the virtual machine operating system. To continue, click Next. Now the installation has started and you need to wait. Once the setup is complete, only a few steps will remain. Choose your region and click on Yes. Now select the right keyboard layout and click also on Yes. I will not add a second keyboard layout now, as this can be added at any time, so I'll just click on Skip. Again, fast forward, and in the next step select Setup for personal use and click on Next. I will not be using a Microsoft account to sign in, so I will choose Offline Account by clicking on it. In the next window, click on Limited Experience and now type in the name of your first Windows account and click on Next. Type in the password and click on Next. Confirm the password and also click on Next. You will need to complete a series of questions and security answers. For all three, choose a question, type in the answer and click on Next. The following settings are personal preference. I will choose No for location, No for Find My Device. I will only send required diagnostic data and click on Accept. No on Improve Inking. No on Use Advertising ID. No again and Accept. I will skip the customization of my experience. Not now on Cortana. And in this case, that should be all. Give it a few minutes and you should have your own virtual machine created and set up. If I did mention anything or you have a question, feel free to write a comment. Also, if you like this video, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.